days you didn't listen to film. My friends missing VHS videotape repeating.
Welcome back, Creeps and Peeps fam and crew. I have a haul video for you today. This is all DVD. Got on eBay a couple weeks ago. We saw a haul video about some a lot of 10 VHS tapes I got. They're all the same. That Nurse Sherry and some other things like those Misty Monday movies and whatever else. And I was getting like those hauls of like 10 or 20 of the same tapes, all still or DVDs still sealed. So I started looking around for other deals that seemed pretty good. So I came across this one. It was 40 DVDs or something like that. I forget how many. Or maybe it was $40 for, I forget exactly what the scenario was, but this entire DVD lot was free shipping, decent price, but it's all zombie movies. So a couple of these are rebuys, but it's also kind of replacing ones that I parted out. As if you've seen enough of these videos, you know that years ago I had hundreds and hundreds of DVDs, took all the discs out, threw all the cases away, kept all the DVDs in binders and all that. Now I've slowly been recollecting the physical cases, and but most of those I've obviously ripped to my Plex account, which I'm working on doing again. But here we go. So start off with Steve Niles' Remains. This is a slipcase. Now I actually like movies in slipcases, whether I'd be Blu-ray or DVD. It's just what sucks about these Walmart ones is they put their sticker on the slipcase, so you can't actually get that off. So that sucks. I'm sure this was probably wrapped in plastic when it first came out, so it should have been on there. The whole thing should be in plastic, and the store's sticker should be on the outside where it's not going to mess up the movie, but whatever. So this unrated version from the creator of 30 Days and Nights. It's got Lance Reddick, rest in peace, in there. Then we have The Dead, a Ford Brothers film. And then The Dead 2. So some of these I have no idea about. I kind of dropped off paying attention to movies in the 2010s. I haven't really watched anything new, especially when it comes to like low budget indie stuff. I don't really buy physical media from stores anymore. I buy them all online, or buy VHS tapes. Severed, Forest of the Dead. Now this one I think I sort of had on DVD already. I think this was a movie that was on one of those 10 horror movies for $5 kind of Walmart deal that they did way back when. Yeah, this movie's 2004. So the thing about that is sometimes the movies were compressed to fit, it's like a DVD set, maybe 2 discs with 4 movies or 5 movies on each disc, so the files are compressed down. So when you rip it to like an MKV file for Plex or whatever, the file is only 1 to 2 gigs. When you rip it from a full DVD, it's 2, 3, 4, 5 gigs, so you get a little bit better quality. So this will replace the file that I already had. Then we have Undead, widescreen. This is in a Blockbuster case. So eventually, when I get to the new place, I'm going to get a whole bunch of brand new DVD cases and CD cases and all that, jewel cases, and start replacing a lot of ones that are damaged or ones that have stickers on them that won't come off. Kind of like stuff like this, there's not going to come off that plastic. Or like if you buy CDs from vintage stock, their stickers don't come off the plastic cases. Night of the Living Dead Resurrection, 2013. This might be one that I got from Tubi that I downloaded at some point. I think I might have that. Apocalypse of the Dead, Pray for the Living, in the slipcase. Then we have Uli Lamel's Zombie Nation, from the director of Boogeyman. David, he actually did. I was going to say he did a movie called like the Uli Lamel's Zodiac, or Uli Lamel's Zodiac Killer, that David Hess was in. So it looks like he used David Hess in this movie too. So this is 2006, because David Hess passed away, like 2010? Nice guy I met. This is the remake of Evil Dead from 2013. I think I have the Blu-ray of this. It's a DVD. So I was ripping all my Blu-rays and DVDs to Plex, years ago. And the Blu-ray files, 10, 15, 20, 30 gigs depending. So I was trying to convert them all to like MP4s from MKVs, and I kept getting like frame loss and all that. So I don't know if I'm going to be ripping Blu-rays anymore. I just might stick with just ripping DVDs. Because if I stream it to my phone at work, overnight, or other places, I don't really need Blu-ray quality. I can just watch the Blu-rays at home. Exit Humanity, a zombie saga. Bloody Disgusting Selects. So some of these I had to replace my Asus Blu-ray ripper because it pretty much went dead because I've been using it nonstop for 5 years. And I bought a cheap little external Blu-ray drive for like $40, but I kept trying to use it to rip more discs and it just kept airing out through Make MKV. And so out of all these, only maybe 10 out of however many there are, I was able to rip. But then I got to replace my Asus one with a new Asus one, and it's been working a little bit better. So I don't know if it's the Blu-ray ripper or if it's the MKV program. Robert Englund, Jenna James, Zombie Strippers, special edition theatrical cut. Like this is one I have a digital version of already. Day of the Dead, The Need to Feed. So this is the Steve Miner 2007 remake of the 1985 Day of the Dead. It's kind of a cool lenticular cover. I think this is a rebuy. I don't know if I had the lenticular version, but I do remember buying that on DVD. I probably still have the disc in storage. This is one I never owned. Lucio Fulci collection, Anamorphic widescreen of Zombie 3. So that's nice to have in the collection. Technically Zombie 2, because Zombie 2 is technically Zombie, because Zombie 1 is technically Dawn of the Dead. And Trailer Park of Terror, unrated in a slipcase. Steve Goldman, Trace Adkins, Priscilla Barnes, with some names we know. Based on a comic series by Imperium Comics. Interesting. We have Flight of the Living Dead, unrated. Outbreak on a Plane. Which, going through a lot of these, it makes you think, like, how many of these, are technically zombie movies? Because I really think, especially these days, in the past 15, 20 years, ever since, like, 28 Days Later, there's zombie movies, and then there's outbreak infected movies. Because, like, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, those are more so zombie movies. Although you could sort of call Return of the Living Dead outbreak because they're infected with that gas or whatever, but most of them, like, they're infected. They're infected people. They're not dead people coming back to life. Dead and Gone. Felissa Rose, Marilyn Gigliotti. Marilyn Gigliotti is she was in what's it called? Clerks. She was Veronica. The Zombie Diaries, Dimension Extreme. Night of the Creeps, director's cut. We did a showing of this at a theater I used to work at back in like 2014 or 15 for our horror movie marathon day that we used to do. And we had Jason Lively. We had the female from this movie, I can't remember her name. And then we had the other dude from this movie who was on Mama's Family. They all came to our theater and did a Q&A afterward. It's pretty cool. The Slaughter, widescreen. This is directed by Jay Lee. No other names I recognize. If you know anything about any of these movies, or you have any recommendations, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Dead Clowns. I'm sort of taking my time with this one. I'm not going to burn through just to show them off. Debbie Rochon, who I like, she's in this one. We have World War Z. Again, I've never seen this. I never read the book either, but to me this one always more seems like an infected movie and not really a zombie movie. We have House of the Dead 2. I remember screening the original one when it first came out back in 03, 04, whenever that was. I wasn't a big fan of it, although I really liked the video game. So we got Sid Haig in this. Ellie Cornell, of course, is in it. She's in the first one as well. Ellie Cornell from Halloween 4 and 5, whom I've met. Autumn. This is another one that I had on a compilation, one of the Echo Bridge compilations, 10 movies for $5 or whatever. So this should be a better version to rip. It'll be higher quality by a little bit. And from Dimension Extreme, Automaton Transfusion, Unrated and Undead. These are ones I remember seeing at Walmart way back in the day that I never bought. I haven't even shopped at Walmart in 15 years. And then Night of the Living Dead 3D. This is a sort of updated 2006 remake of the original by Jeff Broadstreet. Sort of goes by the same, storyline as the original Night of the Living Dead. Of course, it's shot in 2006's version of 3D. But it's the old blue and red lens 3D, so there's 4 pairs of glasses in here. This is one I do remember I either bought or I got from Netflix and ripped the disc of. So that's sort of a rebuy, perhaps. Then we have The Dead and the Damned. It's like a cowboy. No names I recognize. Cowboy zombies. That's cool. One more little stack. We have the After Dark Horror Fest 4. Zombies and Mass Destruction. If there's any names in here I recognize or not. Nope. We have Zombie Apocalypse, Ving Rhames, Taryn Manning. Save that one for last. We have The Crypt, Craig McMahon film. I looked at this one already a little bit. We have Ghost Lake, Jay Wolfel, 2004. The Day of the Living Dead, The Bloodbath Has Begun. Thomas J. Churchill directing, written and directed. Said no actors or actresses that I recognize. Or James Duval, I know him from Independence Day and Doom Generation. Zombieland Double Tap, this is the sequel. Surprised I've never seen either one of these. I think I have those on Blu-ray, but I've just never watched them. The original House of the Dead. I said this movie was sort of fun when it came out. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Uwe Boll directing, of course. I was just happy to see Ellie Cornell in the movie again. It was just weird when they're killing the zombies, they'd flash images of the video game. So that was just kind of a weird choice. From the co-producer of Nightmare on Elm Street 1984, The Demented. And a cool kind of like holographic embossed slipcase. No names I recognize, unfortunately, but I don't recognize anybody's names. Lou Diamond Phillips, Lori Petty, I recognize. Route 666, written, produced and directed by William Wesley. This is like an early 2000s release, I believe. We have Night of the Dead from Master of Horror Eric Forsberg, unrated director's cut. Don't know who Eric Forsberg is, but apparently he is a Master of Horror. So if you know who that is, let me know. I'm sure I've probably seen someone of his. No names I recognize as far as actors and actresses. Dead Men Walking, maximum security prison, thousands of infected inmates, only one way out. So again, infected. This is a Hollywood video case. Or Hollywood video pre-rental, at least. From the Asylum Home Entertainment, Peter Mervis. Widescreen edition, Legion of the Dead. Paul Bales. This has Zach Galligan in it and Bruce Boxleitner. Cool. Second to last, we have Zombie Honeymoon. David Gabreau. No names I recognize off the bat from Glass Eye Picks. And lastly, but not least, definitely not least, one that I've always wished I would have had on DVD, the Blue Underground release of Shockwaves. So I have a couple different versions of this on VHS, as we've seen on the channel sporadically over the years. 1977, 76, 77. Was it Ken Widerhorn? Yeah, Ken Widerhorn directed, John Carradine. Fantastic movie. My friend Jonathan at Bose had this. He's the one that kind of turned me on to this movie back in the early 2000s. He had this release on DVD, so I remember ripping it, borrowing it from him and copying it. And of course, like I said, I have the VHS, like probably two or three different versions of this on VHS. But this is kind of a really cool one to have in the actual collection, like a real version of. So, love this movie. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Check out the trailer. It's on a lot of the trailers for some of these movies are on my other channel called Tripsy Trailers, where I just put up a bunch of random horror movies and random trailers that I rip from DVDs like this. So that was my zombie horror movie collection. Forget how many there are. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 times 2. Yeah, so it was 40. I forget what I paid for, but it was probably, I think, $40, between 40 and 50 maybe, free shipping. So good collection, good haul. I'm going to rip them off my Plex and dig through them over the next, 30 years. So if there's any hidden gems in here, be sure to comment below. I'd like to hear from you guys. As always, comment, like, subscribe, and share. Peace.